I trust and believe in the Guru, having the right motivation, with the blessings of the Guru and our pure motivation. For so far, we can have a pure motivation. Trusting in and believing on really makes the impossible possible.
Hello, and welcome to Life with a Lama Healer. Today, we have a very special guest, Toet de Best. Love that name. She's a lifelong resident of the Netherlands and a long time student of Lama Gangchen. For 30 years, she traveled all over the world with Lama Gangchen and helped to found the Inner Peace teachings in Holland and Lama Gangchen's charitable foundation in Holland. And she was Lama's official Dutch translator. And so today she's going to share with us some really incredible experiences that she had along her journey through meditation and traveling with Lama and doing Lama's inner peace teaching practices, studying Tibetan Buddhism. Some really beautiful, mystical experiences that she had that are really helpful for all of us to listen to and to hear what's possible when we follow the inner peace teachings of the Buddha and Lama. So we recorded this episode in Albignano Healing Meditation Center this summer in July when the center was being inaugurated, the new center was being inaugurated. So this is has some really special energy with this episode. So please join me in welcoming Toet de Best. We're really excited about this podcast about the life of the great Tibetan Lama, Lama Gangchen Tulku Rinpoche, who was born in 1941 in Tibet and trained by many of the greatest Tibetan masters. He traveled to the West in the 1980s, bringing with him the inner peace teachings of the Buddha. Lama was one of the greatest living humanitarians and spiritual masters of our time, and part of an unbroken lineage dating all the way back 2,500 years to Shakyamuni Buddha. So our vision in creating this podcast is really to preserve and share the remarkable stories about Lama Gangchen's extraordinary life. We'll interview senior students and longtime followers who worked with Lama Gangchen, traveled with him, studied with him, witnessed and experienced his incredible healings and miracles. So these stories, they're really precious jewels and inspire us to really see what's possible when we follow the inner peace teachings of the Buddha. So it's a real honor and privilege to bring these stories to you and the methods that really help us to reframe our sufferings, which brings us more inner calm, the ability to be more in the present moment with less stress and anxiety and fear, and to, experience more joy in our life and more peaceful in our life and more meaning really in our life. So please stay tuned for our conversations from this very, very rich spiritual heritage coming out of Tibet and the incredibly joyful, inspiring, mind-blowing, funny, touching stories about the remarkable life of a Lama healer, our beloved Lama Gangchen. Life with a Lama healer. Welcome, Toots.
Thank you for having me. Wonderful.
So I'm dying to ask you, how did you meet Lama Gangchen?
This was because I was a volunteer by a healer. And this healer heard that there was a Lama healer coming. And he said to me, Toet de Best, you go to this Lama and you invite him to come here. You bring him here. Okay, so I went to the place and there was sitting Lama Gangchen, two ladies on his feet giving massage. And I was in Buddhism for some months and used to traditional Lama. So this was for me already one thing. And he said, hello, how are you? Like we met yesterday. And then I said, Lama, I invite you. And then he said, how far? Yes. Okay. Yes, I come. And then I was thinking, okay, wonderful. I'm done. And he said, you sit. I'm going to help people. And he went out of the room. And there I'm sitting in a room full of his energy. And I didn't know how long he go. Could I go, come back, not come back or whatever? So I was sitting there in all this energy. And then he came back. He smiled like a full moon or sun or whatever. I said, you're still here. I said, yes, because you said you sit. and I'm going to help people. So I went and he came to that place, and there he gave immediately Vaitara to the volunteers there and mantra. And in the evening, he given public lecture, and I asked my sister to come with her daughter, with Radia. You need to come. This Lama is everything else than whatever Lama I met, and this was number 5. In a half year, I met 4 great Lamas.
All in Holland?
All in Holland, all in the same place, except this Lama Gangchen was on another place. So immediately he came, and I had already a sleeping bag in my car, and one bag where I had normally my prayers, the shola, and my bathroom beauty case, and jama, and that's it. And then I asked him immediately if I could come with him that same evening.
Come with him where?
To the place where he was staying in Tilburg, was more or less 100 kilometers further or something. And of course he said yes.
But you already had your bags packed.
Yes.
Spontaneous.
Yes, I felt like that. I should be with him. The first time that I met Rinpoche, the first coming days, I was traveling for him, I was cooking for him, and I did the post for him. I was always looking for a guru. I was thinking that I choose one guru. He hooked me. Without that, I was knowing that.
Spontaneously started serving.
Yes.
Yeah, incredible.
Yes, almost like normal. After he said also, we know each other for a lifetime.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Just
many
meeting
lives.
once again.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But I noticed when he left, then I was really crying, like I lost something. I found something precious and was gone. It, of course, was not gone, but it was not yet complete in my heart. It was there, but not sitting where it is now.
You mean when he would leave Holland and do
Yes.
the travel? What year was this that you
Oh,
met
which
him?
year? 1987. Yes, so the first time that Lama Gangchen came to Holland, and we are at 5 people at that time. This was Jan, Mr. Jan, and this was Mieke, she's also here. And this is my sister Nel, Radia, and me. And we are still the
Yeah.
disciples of Lama Gangchen.
Yeah. Many of the leaders in Holland, right?
Yeah, from the beginning was like that. Leader, I don't know. He always gave me job. I never saw it as a leader, but
Yeah.
I was the one, if Rinpoche said we do, then we do. Whatever it was, or he said you create a foundation with my name, or one time he said to me, Tutla, you asked the sponsor for 7,000 euro. And I was, yes, Rinpoche. How do I that? And then I was thinking, but I don't have any difficulty with it. I just say, Lama Gangchen asked me to ask you 7,000 euro for this project. And then it happens, natural. What I noticed is if you follow Rinpoche, literally as he say it, then there is no any obstruction. It's just our mind that create what I should say, what he should think, whatever. It's no there if you follow him.
He will say very clearly, give advice, and then they don't follow it, and then they have some obstacles. Right?
Yes, sure, sure.
So you had met these other lamas, you said, in Holland, and this was your first year of studying Tibetan Buddhism. What was it about Lama Gangchen that had you want to just naturally follow him and serve him and work with him?
Yes. The other lamas was really like a course, an initiation, a retreat, let's say, or these kind of things. Weekend retreats on this. But for Rinpoche, it was really being with him, serving, following what he was doing, and watching. I don't know why I did all my life with Rinpoche. I was so ignorant in the beginning that I was thinking that what Rinpoche was doing, that you could study. So I wrote an official letter to him, to Milan. I could come to study with him and how long it should take and all these kind of things. Of course, I never got answer. And finally, I took the decision. I go to Milan at a certain moment, and it was 14 hours by train. And Rinpoche asked someone to come with me. And Rinpoche was waiting on the stairs, and my ego was so big. I was thinking, look there, Lama Gangchen is waiting of me. And he greeted us very kindly. And then he said, now you need to go because a great Lama is coming. So immediately we are sent out to go in Milan.
So really studying with Lama was living with him, traveling with him. That was his way of...
Just by doing. Of course, he give course or he give lectures, but Rinpoche was not so good in lectures like a teacher is doing. He's more from daily life and what's coming up in his mind, what the people needed on that moment and the audience who was there. But he teaches Dharma in daily life from the morning until the evening. But anyway, he called it a study project because for the tax deduction, putting my trips with him or something like that. He said also clearly, you come with me, but I never pay you travelings. He said very clear, you need to do by yourself. So I did by myself, but could get tax deduction. But he said, you study with me, no?
Yeah.
I said, yes, Rinpoche. He said, you're right.
Yeah.
But this was the daily life study. Of course, also the Buddhist philosophy, but in a different way because Rinpoche was practical, no? For everybody practical. And mainly in the beginning when Rinpoche came in Holland, he did the healing, so I became his translator.
Can you share a story of healing that you witnessed when you were translating with Lama, or even maybe a healing for yourself?
There are so many stories. What I learned after the first trip with Rinpoche in Tibet, I learned that the Dutch people, we have a heavy food, heavy clothes, and a heavy mind. Dutch people is quite serious, feeling guilty and all these kind of things. Holland is a Naga country and a lot of water. So many sicknesses are related to mind problem also in Holland, thanks to the Nagas and the skin things and this kind. He helped everyone, but for me was the most interesting thing that they asked for help and they are thinking that it was going to give the answer and to change their life in 1 second, in one way or the other way, because he was very open, very humble, very kind to them. And then he said, this is not important. For example, people said, I'm incarnated in a wrong body, or my life is so heavy. This is not important. Now you listen well, you follow well, you take my precious pills, and later on, everything will come okay. And I pray for you. I love you. And then what I saw, Rinpoche's main healing was to accept each of us as we are. And by that came space. And in this space, we changed our mind and our body. And of course, the Tibetan medicine or the mantras or the retreats or whatever was helping a lot, sure, in many sense. For myself, the healing, I born traumatic and I got more traumas in my life. And nothing was strange for Rinpoche. Whatever you said, or this happened or that happened, that's normal. That's life. He gave me all the samples from this happened in normal daily life with everybody, everywhere. And don't worry, it will come okay.
You didn't feel like what you were experiencing was weird or that you were different?
No, there was even one experience that I had in Milan. It was an exhibition about torturing instruments.
Huh. Why would you go to an exhibition on torturing
That's a good question because I passed by and I felt I need to go in. And I went and I was inside and immediately I felt this I have done.
Really?
How you stretch the people outside the oil that they put in the body and whatever.
All these different methods of torture.
And I stand still like we do now by in Tanga or something like that. Yes, this I have done. Yes, this I have done. Yes, this also I have done. And I became white like a ghost or whatever. And I was vomiting and I went straight to Rinpoche after I said, Rinpoche, I have been to this exhibition and I have done all this. And I said, I confess that I have all done this. And he said, that's normal. We did all in all our lives already. Now you have the tool to change it. Point. Dot.
Wow.
This is what I mean, how you express healing.
Yeah.
This is also healing.
Yeah.
By
Healing
itself
the
that
past.
I confessed at that moment, realized and confessed by myself, came to Rinpoche, said, but that's normal. We all did. So we did all. And I could not read even a book, see a movie about physical torturing or mental torturing. Then I always need vomiting and need to stop with the books.
You would vomit.
Yes, after I understood why, when I had to this exhibition, then I understood immediately.
While you were going through this exhibition, seeing these methods of torture, you're actually having the memory of this, or you just had like the cellular memory that I've done this before?
I know very clear that I have done. I didn't have pictures that I did it at that moment, but I felt clearly, and not only one method. That's the same when I went to the Duomo in Milan later, another time, because I have many experience in Milan. I went to the Duomo and you have the Castello, and they are the opposite, no? And I know that I've been in the Castello. I gave order to put people there, but I have been there also. And I have been tortured there. I give order to torture. I have been tortured there.
It was like a dungeon underneath the church?
Yes, in another time.
Wow.
And when we sent away by Rinpoche, when we came, we are two, I saw a church. Not knowing anything about this church, I said, I need to go in this church. I went in this church. I was sitting on the last bench because I always do in a church. I go in the last bench. Then I look, feel, etc. And the guy was with me. He went in the middle. And when he walked away, he became a monster, blowing up. And I was in shock when I saw this. But behind the altar, there was a crypt. And there are 3 holy beings. But then I came on the other side and he said to me, you don't want more to be my friend, no? So he had also some experience. I said, yes. He said, then was then, now is now. And okay, that was that. This story I never told to Rinpoche. But then I saw there clearly fighting, fire, cutting heads, whatever you could imagine in that time happened. This was in the time of Ambrosius. I've been there. And it was the St. Ambrosius Church. This was very clear pictures.
Did you start to have these memories after you met Rinpoche, or had you had these psychic memories before you met Rinpoche?
I can't remember that I had these memories before, but I can keep memories. Let's say I know I born in the war when I was 2.5, not yet 2.5. I saw the bombing on the near city, and I saw myself later on the arm of someone, but not the head. Many times I don't see the head, but the body. I'm sitting there, and then I'm seeing 2 beautiful lights. And in the middle of the light came even more beautiful light. And of course, this was war, no? This was the light that was looking to a plane. And when they found it in the spot, then they shut it down. And this was for me beautiful. But I cannot remember that. I always felt different. And I think I felt automatically that I could not share with someone. So that's why when I was 9, came up these questions because I was drawn in the water and I was already for the time going down. And then I had long hair. Someone took me out with the hair out of the water. And then came all these life questions. From that moment, I know that was much more. But by itself, the drowning itself was wonderful.
So you almost drowned?
Yes.
You actually had an experience. Tell us about that.
I was 9. It was interesting because it was a boat and this was for sick people and you could go one day on the water and enjoying and whatever. Then we are playing, 4 girls. We are playing and one girl almost fell in the water. She liked to take me. Instead of taking, she pushed me. I couldn't swim. I fell in the water and immediately I went down. But this going down was wonderful. All bubbles with multicolored rainbow colors. So soft. And going down, beautiful. I always said years later, if I'm going to die, I like to be drowned or something like that because it was beautiful. Then you come up. Then on the moment that you come up, I don't know how it works, but you try to breathe, but then you get water again. You get even more and you go again down. Same experience, beautiful, soft, silent rainbow colors, bubbles with rainbow colors. Then the 3rd time I came up again and again happened it because I was too far to catch me. He told me later, then you are full of water and then you are really drowned. So then they took me out of the hair.
Someone grabbed your
with the
hair.
hair, yes. I went wet to the house of the friend. We put the clothes on the line. When it was dry, I went to my home. And I never told anyone this story.
You never told
I never.
Why?
I don't know. But all what happened also, my abuse, sexual abuse, I never told anyone. Is a red thread in my life that I have things I never will tell anyone. But also even in the school with nuns. Children are a little bit naughty, other friends, and they took paper and they just throw the nun with this head. And then it fell down. So we saw her bald head, and for her was terrible, was really terrible. But since I was always naughty, she was thinking that I was the one who did it. Then she I said, no, I didn't do. And she said, no, then you need to tell me who it did. I said, no, I can only say that I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Then you get punishment. I said, no problem, but I'm not going to say who did it. I never will tell these things. But I think it comes from previous life, why I keep my mouth on certain moments.
Yeah, you have discretion of what to share and what not to share, right? Some people have told me after they met Rinpoche or after they started really practicing meditation and the Dharma, that they had access to a more subtle levels of their mind and they were able to remember other lives and memories of other lives. So was this experience for you like a healing? Did it feel like you were healing past lives and like purifying some karma from other times?
I don't know if I experienced as healing. I experienced it more as finalmente. You say in Italian, finally, it get in place, but not healing. I met people, for example, that I think, I know you. Oh, you are back. Back from what? Etc. No, I had many experience. For example, my first teacher, Geshe Kunju Glundop, I asked him to give teaching about the mandala offering. And he did a very wonderful explanation about the floor, lapis lazuli, and birds who singing Dharma and whatever. I was there when he was telling the story. But this was 87, 88. And in 91, I went for the first time to with Rinpoche traveling show in Nepal. And he was at the stupa. And there I experienced what Geshe told. I was to the best standing there knowing that this physical body was there. At the same time was a subtle body there, or being, to be. In the middle of this lapis lazuli floor, I heard the birds and all this, all what he told was there, present. I don't know how long, if it was 1 second or 1 minute, because there is no time.
Yeah, these transcendental moments are timeless. Yeah.
So then, of course, after I went also to Rinpoche and told him my experience, and he said, useful to go to holy places, no? Yes.
Here we are today in El Cañano Healing Meditation Center, which is the temple of heaven on earth, a very holy
place. Yes. Rinpoche even said that we will reach here enlightenment. Albayano will be of Borobudur. We called it then in that time Borobudur. Albayano Borobudur, holy place. We will reach here enlightenment. You can reach here enlightenment. We will.
Beautiful. Wow. How about that?
I could not imagine anything about it, but also enlightenment. What means enlightenment? One day he said, Tutla, enlightenment is not there and it's not far. Enlightenment is here, now. Only we think it is difficult. It's not difficult. It's not difficult.
That takes a lot of practice.
Yes. You need to do it. You need to practice. You need to feel it.
What was one of the moments that you had with Rinpoche that was the funniest? He was filled with so much joy and he had such a great sense of humor. Can you share with us a story about that?
Yes. Rinpoche could be very childish. Joy as a child, not childish. Joy as a child. We are with the Chinese consul in Swiss together. Anyway, he liked to show one video. And Rinpoche said, yes, you want to see? Yes, you show me. And the thing was not working. Then he asked someone to help and the thing was not working. And for the third time, the thing was not working. It didn't work. But the way how he laughed and his eyes, that I managed.
One time I remember we were in maybe Mongolia. We had traveled from Tibet and Cozy wanted to buy him a new pair of boots. Those brown boots that he wore had the fur lining in it. And so she was trying to get the right size for him. He wouldn't tell what size he wore. And he said, buy the biggest pair you can ever get. And he was serious. He wanted her to buy the biggest pair. We all laughed so much. He was just filled with so much joy, right? Yeah.
One time Rinpoche came down from the stairs and he needed to go to an official thing in Milan. And he had the boots and it was broken. And you could see that it was broken. He said, Rinpoche, these boots, will I get you the other boots? I said, no. I said, but Rinpoche is broken. Fashion.
The new fashion.
And he went like that because we have these jeans that we cut. So what's the difference? That I have this.
Yeah, the difference between torn blue jeans and torn shoes, though, right? Wow, incredible. So what was one of your favorite places to travel with Rinpoche? You've been all over the world. What was your most favorite sacred place to travel with him?
If I need to make a choice, was Borobudur, and even the first time, because we are with a very small group the first time, and we need to sleep in Yogyakarta. Hara was not yet ready, so he brought us 5 times at Borobudur. In that time, after I understood why 5 times, because all the Dhyani Buddhas, of course, but Rinpoche didn't say nothing. We did only say Muni Muni mantra, the Guru mantra, and Frachasattva mantra, finish. No explanation, nothing. Going around 5 times, these kind of things. And then the whole tour, of course. Then we are up. We are hand in hand, how Rinpoche was doing, hand in hand. We are walking. And I said, I was on the Borobudur and I looked to the environment and I said, Rinpoche, you can let me here. I can live here. I will take care and I will die here. But if I need to make only one choice, absolutely Borobudur.
Ah, why? What is so special?
To be honest, the second time was not so special because I was very sick. I had been for 3 months. I had fever and I went alone. Everybody had been already and only with one silk shawl and everything was wet. But I was looking to the top of the Borobudur. And by each step, I said, for the benefit of all sensing beings, for the benefit of all sensing beings, for the benefit of all sensing beings. Because at that time, my physical situation was, if we did Oma Guru Buddha Siddhi Hum, for example, the song must be 92 or something like that. It was even painful. My whole body was painful at that time.
With the fever.
Yes, also heaviness. My physical situation was completely different from now. I'm 10 years, 20, 100 years younger than in that time. But for me, connected very clearly. Also, the Kali Chakra practice is very interesting practice for me.
Did you feel exceptionally peaceful when you were in Borobudur, or did it seem familiar? Why was it so special for you?
Back home again. For example, I cannot have chili because I get some problem. In Indonesia, I could eat chili, but only in Indonesia, not in India. Then I got problem from these things that you cannot explain. Oh, and why Borobudur is very special for me now, I see. I was before Rinpoche already at Borobudur. I organized all the time Borobudur, the rooms and all these kind of things, the organization. Yes. And then every evening I was going to the street and then was sitting there and just watching. I don't know why, maybe it's a kind of meditation idea or whatever, but I did to the Borobudur and I saw really the Buddha's head, really Buddha's head, but alive. And all the curls becoming shining, these kind of things. And one day we are sitting having food in Manohara. And sitting there, and Rinpoche was sitting with the back to, because then we could look to the Borobudur. But I was looking to the Borobudur, and that moment I really saw the top of the Buddha's head and moving from the left to the right. Then I closed my eyes because I was thinking, no, this can be not. You imagine. And he said, Borobudur is Buddha's head is moving. Yes.
Yeah.
Finish.
Incredible. These holy places, like Borobudur, you have these transcendental kind of experiences and these mystical experiences, right? You're going into this portal of holy energy, right? In different dimensions, don't you think?
Most interesting thing is you're not doing by purpose. It's not, I want to experience this. No, it happened. Same happened in Lhasa, in the Jokang. We are there all together. And then after I went again back and just watching. And that moment from the Jokang Buddha form came light. And again, closed my eyes. No, it's true, it's not true. Straight, the 5 Dhyani Buddha colors after each other, coming straight to my forehead.
Your third eye.
Yes. And then you are transcendental, more or less, because I didn't have the idea that I was there. Someone came and said, we are going. And then, of course, it was also gone. Yeah. Then I tried again. Yeah. Then it's no more there. Yeah. Then it's no more there.
Yeah. So, Toots, when you have those kind of experiences, what does that open up for you in your being?
I think, if I look well, the confirmation that this body is from material, there is substance, but that behind that is a complete other dimension of life. You cannot call it life even. Energy, bits can have some form like this light or something like that. And by that, I try for myself in the morning, I do a short practice, Frachasattva practice. Each morning that I make a visualization as Frachasattva, and then I imagine that I'm Frachasattva. And this is the whole day with me, but still I'm just to the best of doing even stupid things. Yeah, because the insight is there.
You have these incredible moments, and you're like, wow, I'm accessing this whole Buddha land. And then something happens, and you get pissed off at your husband, or you do something really stupid, and you go, oh boy, but I'm still in samsara.
Fully.
Right.
But I have the good experience that if someone tells me something in teaching or this mandala offering, for example, I get a result, I get an experience, and almost immediately. Then after I try to get it again, and it's no more there. But I know it exists. It is real true. So all the time I get a confirmation that it is there. What Rinpoche said, believing in and trusting on makes the impossible possible and is real true. But this is the point, believing in and trusting the guru in your heart. This is in fact the most important thing. That's what I noticed. If he is there, even if you do stupid things, then, oh, Rinpoche, sorry, or oh, Buddha, sorry, but it is there. They are always there. They are always with you. And that is what I experienced with Rinpoche's paranirvana. Anyway, the 16th of April was the aura around the sun.
The day that Lama left his body.
No. 2 days before. So it was clear Rinpoche is going now in Samadhi. He took the decision. I'm going, but the body was still body-wise functioning, but inside he was preparing himself. Then the 18th, he went in paranirvana. The doctor said he is dead. But when Rinpoche went in Samadhi, he was so clear, but also normal, very normal. Then when I heard that Rinpoche was in paranirvana, we got a message from Lama Michel, and I felt him so present in me. And then I looked here in the room. I looked out of the window, and there, all atoms, whatever exists and has an atom, was filled with the energy from Rinpoche. So I could be not sad.
Yes.
Because he was there.
Yes.
And for the first time, I was his translator for more than 30 years. I understood that he said, I am always with you. And I understood that I was so used to his physical presence that I didn't recognize his real Buddha nature, his real energy. On the moment that he was physical, not more present, the body was still on earth, I experienced this. And then I said, oh, this is what Rinpoche said. Then in the beginning also, I didn't dare to say to anyone that I was not sad, because I was not sad. I got an experience that you never get just like that.
There were moments when I felt his presence even stronger than when he was in his body, right? It was incredible.
Yes. For me, exactly the same, even more strong. And all what he said and all what he did, whatever, there is no situation about grass or something in the Gompa or in saying or in doing. I see Rinpoche doing or I hear him saying or whatever. Maybe that was why I was watching. By watching, seeing, transmitting or something like that. It was in a natural way, in a natural, energetic way.
Lama Caroline was saying that Rinpoche always said that he wanted to really show us that there really is no death, that our consciousness continues, and that when he did leave his body 3 years ago now in April, he demonstrated that to thousands of people around the world, right? That there is no death.
Yes. All the time. Present and not present. Physical not present, but so present, even more than ever before. Could be more present. Yes.
Yeah.
Making peace with the environment.
Making peace with the environment.
Making peace with Amazonia.
Making peace with Amazonia.
Making peace with 5 elements.
Making peace with the 5 elements.
Making peace with the earth element.
Making peace with the earth element.
Making peace with the wind element.
Making peace with the wind element.
Making peace with the water element.
Making peace with the water element.
Making peace with the fire element.
Making peace with the fire element.
Making peace with the space element.
Making peace with the space element.
Mentally healthy.
Mentally healthy.
Physically healthy.
Physically healthy.
Inner peace.
Inner peace.
World peace.
World peace.
Now and forever.
Now and forever.
By all the human beings' attention.
By all the human beings' attention.
By all the holy beings' blessing.
By all the holy beings' blessings.
So, Toet, you were saying before that having these moments and having these experiences of seeing that our lives are beyond just our identity and this body. Does this give you less fear about leaving the body and going into another body? Because many people, they don't want to talk about death because we have so much fear about death and because we really don't know a lot what happens, especially in Western culture. Can you say a little bit about that, how those teachings have helped you in your life or what you've learned about death and living and reincarnation?
A near-death experience when I was 9.
Yeah.
So this makes it already different. Besides that, I had a lot of fear in my life, a lot of fear. And then one way or the other way, slowly it waved away by Rinpoche's presence or by facing the situation or whatever. Because I noticed also fear is coming not from the moment. Fear is coming from the past. And we put something on the moment because we experience something that looks like the same. And then it's coming the old fear and it's making it more bigger. I call it the fear of the fear.
The fear, yeah.
The fear of the fear.
It was projected onto the present situation. In the future, we still have the fear.
Yes. In a certain moment, I don't know when I took the decision, I will not have fear. There is no reason for fear because it is fully useless. It's eating time in the terms of Rinpoche talking and nothing. It brings you nothing. So when I realized this, I didn't allow myself to have fear. And that's why it came a problem in my mind because in all the Buddhist texts it's written that we should have fear for the dead. But I don't know why I should have fear for the dead. Better to face the dead than to have fear. But maybe it's wrong. One day I got to ask to Geshe or to Lama Michelle, I don't know why they put the word fear or there. It's in the text. And from the beginning I said, but something is wrong. Why we should have fear? Because it's going to happen. No? We're going to die. And my experience is that I saw so many times Rinpoche with near-death people in that last phase and the way how he treated them and did the prayers or said to us to be quiet or to do which prayer or whatever. And I saw them all changing so much, even in 5 minutes sometimes.
Just being in his presence was a healing.
Yes, exactly. There was one lady, she was Catholic and she didn't know Rinpoche even. But she met me and she said, you're with a Tibetan Lama. I need to go to this Tibetan Lama. She was very sick. She had cancer. She knows that she's going to die. She says, I need to go to this Tibetan Lama and then everything will change. I will not come better, but everything will change. She went. She had been here. Rinpoche had dinner, lunch with her and told her many things and was kind to her. And she passed away so kindly. And she had a husband and he always said, you don't leave me on my birthday. And she said, no. And she waited until 1 minute after 12. Then was not Moai's birthday. And this night after 12, some minutes after 12. And she was so happy that she met Rinpoche, so happy. And I know from Dr. Dawa, he was in Brazil. And there was one person and he fights always with everybody and family. And are you believing something? No, I don't believe in anything. And he said, I know one Tibetan Lama and he has one recording. Do you want to hear his voice? And said, yes. And she went so peaceful after. Never met Rinpoche, he heard only his voice.
And he left his body, but his mind was peaceful.
Peaceful, but many people have this experience. So based on that, I should not know why I should have fear.
When fear comes up, it's like a snake that is going to bite you in the neck.
That's true.
What we do with it is really where our practice comes in. right? We don't necessarily have control over it. The emotion, the negative emotion arising, but what we do with it, we have control over, right? How we can transform it or pacify it.
Geshe Wanshuk. He told me once that he was in the prison in China, that he had a lot of fear because he was of fear that he was thinking that he going to kill him. This was also the plan. After he understood that it was also the plan, he said, the only thing that I could think on was taking refuge. And I was thinking, a Lama from that level, I know that level from him very clear. He said, and it was helping me. This brought me on the idea that it doesn't matter what. And the moment that you surrender and say, I replace it for something, with Buddha form or with prayer or whatever, you trust and believe, it will work. It will work. And Rinpoche said it once, but I noticed also that passing away from Gloria, she was here in Milan, and Lama Michelle was here, and Lama Lawang was with her. But we are in Nepal, in Kathmandu. And there Rinpoche, he didn't give long life initiation, Vaitara long life initiation. And then you get these pills. On the end, like Rinpoche, he took one blow, put it in the middle of his head, and he said, this one is for Gloria. We didn't get yet the phone call. We are back in the Drukang, and the phone call came that this was really the last minutes from Gloria. And Rinpoche said to us, you do self-healing, the whole thing, until Kala Chakra. And Rinpoche was only listening and said, Lama, put under her ears this telephone and these kind of things. Rinpoche didn't say anything that we need to do anything different. So for me, this is the purpose. If there was another better thing to do than that we know by heart, it doesn't matter. Otherwise, he should have said, now we do this mantra, we do that mantra. And then he started with Om Mani Padme Hum, and I understood she's gone.
But knowing that all those prayers were going to help Gloria make the transition, right?
Yes. And you can do Poa or whatever, but the transference mind is there. If the guru knows on that moment, and he can do what he does, and we did what we did. And he said also many times, I saw with other people, or giving kata, or you do only this mantra. And it works. It works. That's also what he said one time. To someone like to do a retreat somewhere else because the retreats here are kind of casino, not on time, and people are going in and out, etc., Lama Gangchen style. No, I like to do this. You come here and you do this retreat, Fraja Yogini. And he said the third time, he said, you do the mantra, Oh my Guru Buddha, Fraja Yogini, Siddhi Hum, all the time. It works. So he shows many times that almost it doesn't matter. It looks like yes, and looks like ceremonies, and looks like this and that.
So it also looks like sometimes disorganization.
Yes.
But still, you're getting the essence of this.
Yes. Even more, I think so. That's the interesting part of the things. I trust and believe in the Guru, having the right motivation, with the blessings of the Guru and our pure motivation, for so far we can have a pure motivation, trusting in and believing on really makes the impossible possible. I'm absolutely sure. I saw too many times.
You're not trusting and believing in out of blind faith. You're trusting and believing because you've had incredible experiences. You've watched him over years and years, constantly helping people, and then all the experiences that you just shared with us. Yeah. So I want to ask you, you talked about refuge. This one Lama, at the time when he thought he was going to be killed, he was taking refuge. Can you, for our listeners, can you just explain what that really means?
Yes. What we say is, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha, and sometimes I take refuge in the Guru. And this is what you say. But what we are saying, what is Buddha? Buddha is an awakened nature. What's enlightenment is an awakened nature, full awakened. I take after, not in the beginning. I was very artificial in doing all these things. I did it more than precise and all these kind of things. And then I understood if someone was knocking on the door, then they said, why are you disturbing me? Because I'm doing meditation. So what I'm doing, this is not meditation. It's not helping anyone. So I understood by doing it, saying, in fact, in an artificial way, slowly you're going to get the essence. You feel what is the meaning. Then you get a teaching, Buddha nature means this, means that. And the Dharma is the text. But it is not the text, it is the experience. It is the living experience. You can have letters, you can read, but to live it is another thing. That is Dharma. By itself, the word Dharma means phenomenon. In fact, this is also interesting because karma means nothing more than less than action by itself. But we use it as from, oh, this is my karma. Yes, but it's also karma if you enjoy. But we never use that word when we enjoy something. Oh, this is my karma. I get champagne.
I won $1 million.
Yeah. The refuge itself is finally to trust and to believe that the Buddha is a nature, the nature, our pure nature, not the Buddha. The Buddha doesn't exist. Buddha nature exists. And if you slowly understand this, then you can take refuge because I do something stupid. You say, oh, Buddhas, please help me. And I really mean, please help me because I did again something stupid. This is taking the refuge. And by itself also is by doing the prayer but I know that at the moment we turn in something positive. It could be fearful, but you give it no chance and you turn it to something different. And then happened what happened. And then happened what happened at that moment. If I have fear or not, if I turn this to refuge or no. So this is the difference. And the Sangha, this was for me even more difficult. Buddha, I understood conceptual, and Dharma also. But Sangha was for me more difficult. Who's the Sangha? You, me, everybody in the monasteries, the monks, the nuns, or whatever. But in fact, the Sangha is all sensing beings for me now. And not because I'm holy, not at all. The opposite, I think so. But it feels like that because it can be not that this person is a Sangha member and that not. This is not more fitting in my head. I was baptized, Catholic, so that someone who was Catholic was not going to the heaven.
Yes.
Was not going in. It's impossible because I'm born in Africa or I don't know where, and by that I'm not baptized as Catholic, so the person cannot go. No. So this is also with the Sangha for me. And of course there is a difference in the Sangha. For example, normal monk and a common monk, let's say, or also with lamas. You see the difference between this lama and the other lama. I see, I feel, but this doesn't matter. This is not important. I see it as a kind of mandala. Everybody has his own role and we are all even important. Looks like not, but it's like we call always say, like Swiss work, the clock. It is very precise and it needs to go fit in each other and then it is working precisely like the Swiss clocks. And this is for us exactly the same.
Interconnectedness.
Yes. Foolish.
Yeah. So beautiful. So Toots, if you could say 3 qualities about Lama Gangchen, what are the 3 qualities that really stood out for you about him?
That's a question, is something difficult for me, but one is his greatness and at the same time his humbleness. And I have an example for that. It's still touching me every time when I see. There was an opening in Chinese temple in São Paulo, and all traditions are invited, also Rinpoche with Lama Michel. And all officials are there. For me, really, not because it is my guru, Lama Gangchen, but he's the greatest of all, really the greatest of all. I met many lamas, but Rinpoche is extraordinary. And he was standing there, waiting nicely with a hand with Lama Michel until it was his turn that he came to say where he maybe could sit or this. And in the meanwhile, I saw moving his lips and doing prayers. And I don't know why, but it's so special for me, so special. The humbleness where he was waiting of his share while he should sit on the highest throne, but he doesn't want to sit on the highest throne. Right. So this is what I mean with the humbleness. And the other side is he can walk hand in hand, for example, with Kofi Annan, and he did. But also here with the farmer in the village.
Yeah. Treated everyone the same. A president and a beggar.
Everyone the same. And his 3 qualities, the greatness, the humbleness, living the Dharma. Also, for example, teaching Yara Rinpoche. He's in Mongolia, this great Lama, this high Lama. And he need to learn how to do all the particular pujas. And there was one puja was very complex with many, many tools. It was a whole table with all tools. And Yara Rinpoche was sitting there on the throne, and Rinpoche was sitting here in the opposite. And we are here, of course. And like I say, I always watch. Then I saw a certain moment that Yara Rinpoche moved to one of the tools and looked to Rinpoche, and Rinpoche, very subtle nodding, yes or no. And these things, everybody giving the confidence that you can do it. It doesn't matter what. You can do it. Yeah. Do it.
He said incredible belief in our capacity.
Yes. And he saw also the potential in us. And he was sometimes pushing, but pushing in the way that we are thinking this is our border. And then he just push you a little bit further. But the next time also you go a little bit further. So to see our potential. And he said also one day, I need to bring you to enlightenment. And I said, yes, Rinpoche. I was a little bit astonished. He said, don't hesitate. Do it.
I'm going to take you to the goal, right? No need to doubt. I love it.
Yeah. And the other qualities is always giving hope to everybody. And his love and care, but mainly his compassion with sick people, invalid people, mental disturbed people, other people. I saw in India in a wellness pool, and there came one lady, and she need to be in a particular chair to sit, and then they bring her down that she can go in the water. Rinpoche immediately, I helped from the beginning. He went out of the water and did all the things what the assistants would do to bring her in the water. And when she went out, he swam with her, these kind of things. Amazing, it's amazing. So natural. And he made them so happy. You see them blossoming. That's special.
There were times when I would say to myself, I wish I had that capacity. I wish I had that ability to help people. And even now, I say that to myself. I wish Rinpoche was here because I wish I could help this person. Because he always knew what to do to really restore wellness or restore mental health or physical health. Yeah. Simona was talking about what refuge meant for her was that she took refuge in Lama Gangchen because she wanted to be like him. She saw his qualities and she just wanted to be like him. Did you ever have moments like that where you felt that?
I can remember the moment that I came back in Nepal. We went yearly to Nepal. Tulku Rinpoche said to me, Tutla, you changed complete. I say, how? He said, you surrendered.
Oh, that's a big word.
Yes. Rinpoche took me also to Sam Tulku Rinpoche. And we got a kind of friendship from old days, I think, also previous lives, let's say. But it was so clear to me on the moment that I wrote this letter, yes, I want to be like him. But then there is also this other to the best, what is always there, the other one, the naughty one or the unknowing one or the I don't know whatever one. But I never believed that it is not possible. But I have also the idea, let's say, Rinpoche sent us one to an initiation of an uncle from him in Nepal, from another tradition, Nimapa. And who was also there was Lama Zopa and other lamas. I didn't have any illusion that I received the same initiation as that Lama Zopa received. I think it's not realistic. Yeah, the initiation itself, of course, the transmitting is the same, but how I receive is completely different than Lama Zopa received. So I have also not the illusion that in this life I become enlightened, even not in my dying process, I think so. I am on the path and I try to go not so fast as possible. Even that maybe not, I don't know. Because I see that we are still in our normal body with our normal samsaric mind also. And a lot of, I don't call it obstacles, but daily life things. And not that it is not important. That is not the point. The importance is there. The morning prayer is there. The evening prayer is there when I wake up and when I go to bed. But in between is also the daily life. And I know that I have many lives with Rinpoche because he told me, I said, Rinpoche, we have been together already in the time from the oracle in Greece in that time. And I said, but Rinpoche, how sad? He said, sad? Why sad? I said, look me now sitting here, to the best, stupid to the best. no, don't think like that. We have been lifetimes together. We served lifetimes together. No problem.
Yeah, and I say to myself, gee, if I didn't have all those lies with him, then I'd be even stupider.
Yeah, it must be. I think so. It must be.
Oh my God, so beautiful. So, dude, if you had some advice to give to other spiritual seekers, what would you say?
Follow your heart. You will know who is the teacher or the one who can guide you. It doesn't need to be a Buddhist Lama or whatever, but the one who is pure enough to guide you. And the second thing is maybe the first thing, be honest to yourself. I think this is the most precious thing now. Even if, let's say that I do something stupid to you, but I'm not yet able to say, sorry, Leila, that I did something stupid. I should not have said it like that, or whatever. I'm not yet able to do, but at least that same day saying, Toet, this could be different. You should have done different. This is not correct, and try to avoid the next time. And this is what I did as child without knowing anything. Every evening I was going through the day, but it was not in the way from you are a bad girl, but just
Really clearly looking at how
Yes.
did I do today?
yes, I did as child. And later I understood to be honest, really honest to ourselves, because it's very easy.
To fool yourself.
Yes. And even if you make the excuse, if you know that you make the excuse, at least later say, Toet, come on, not true. And I think because if we are honest and from our heart seeking spirituality, because spirituality is in everything, it's not at all sitting just on the pillow, in fact, because it looks like, but it's not. Like Lama Michel many times said, is an inner process. And it is. But first you need to believe and trust. And for that, maybe we need the external guru to recognize your internal guru. This I learned from Lama Zopa. We had an international Lamrim, and Lama Zopa was talking one day about the guru, how important is the guru. But he said it in many different ways, but not clear, like for me. So I didn't understand. If I don't understand anything from whatever teaching, I let it on that moment, I put it on a shelf, and one day will come the answer. So on the shelves, many things there. One of the things was the guru. And then at a certain moment, even I think I was not on a meditation session or something like that. We need the external guru to recognize the inner guru. And he can be an example. He or she can be an example. So that's why I'm saying, look, follow your heart and the one to whom you trust, and not blind, but trust, deep trust. And then it will come, but step by step also. And Lama Michel said, start where you are now. And then they think, I would like that. The prayers in the beginning, I was jealous and the one who could do the prayers. This is all form. This is also important with spirituality, making difference between the experience and the form.
What do you mean?
There is a Buddha form, but this is not the Buddha.
Yeah.
Or this is an aspect, but it is not the. There is no the. Because then we grasp to something. It should be concrete. It should be inherent. It should be whatever. No, it is not. It is just the transcendental part. But it sounds all high and high level and whatever. But we need to trust and to believe it is there. But it is like the word space for me was the heaven, no space above me. No, space is everywhere. Now I understand. But it takes time.
Yeah, it's a slow process of understanding. And also, I think it's a process of unraveling our concepts, what we, in our education and what we think life should be, or what we think spirituality is, or what we think who we are, and also unraveling our negative patterns. The more we unravel all this, you have more inner space to understand.
Just look, see, and this is an habitual pattern. Gilligrave, she said once, we had a whole weekend on habitual patterns. And start on Friday evening and a Sunday evening, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I think it will finish like normal, a weekend. And then he said, 3 o'clock, he said, I don't blame you. You did all your lives. And I was thinking, but that I go out of this weekend with that I did all my lives, everything on habitual patterns. Oh, Buddhas, help me. I don't blame you.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you. For lifetimes.
Oh God, are we ever going to stop repeating these patterns? Right? He had a great sense of humor too, right? Gaelic Rinpoche. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. So, Toot, I would like to ask our guests to close with a prayer or a dedication, some like maybe your favorite prayer or a mantra. Would you say something for us all?
Yes. I will explain why I choose for this, because sometimes Rinpoche gives such a much teaching in the Gompa, and then I could not keep my mouth, and I start saying spontaneously, Yet zo'n lame koetse raptan sing namkar trinli chocho chepaidam. Lopsang tempe drome sasum gidro e munsel takto negiorchi.
Tell me why that feels so special.
I think for me it keeps everything what I would like to express and could not to my guru or to the teacher. Last time I was by Pabunko Rinpoche and had the same feeling. I should do this. Maybe it is in shortage of other things, also possible. But this is for me, I think then is the most nearest to me. No, not most nearest to me. We are together on that moment. More nearest to me is that the guru comes to you. Yes, he does. I know he comes on our level, otherwise we never can experience him. If you say be one with the guru, I think on that moment for me is being one.
Wow, what a beautiful conversation, too. Incredible. I got goosebumps so many times here. Beautiful. Thank you for joining us and sharing your journey with Lama Gangchen and your life with a Lama healer and these really special stories that you had and shared with us. And I really appreciate you sharing really the essence of your own personal path. Really beautiful.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wish you all the best.
In the heart of Holland, Toet de Best did dwell, a lifelong journey with tales to tell. She traveled the world with Lama Gangchen by her side, a steadfast volunteer, her spirit open wide. For 3 decades or more, their paths intertwined. A Dutch translator, in Lama's presence she'd find. Co-founder of a foundation, their mission clear, to spread compassion, love, and lessen fear. At 9 years old, a near-death's gentle embrace, a blissful moment in a tranquil space. A life of service in causes altruistic and grand. Toet de Best, a compassionate soul in this earthly land. Wow, what a great conversation with Toots. Love this conversation. And the fact that we had this conversation in the temple, the Protector Temple in Albignano, was extra special. So I really love what Toot was talking about. When we're on the spiritual journey, we can have these really deep, profound experiences of inner peace, of a mystical experience of seeing a Buddha's head, moving in Bobador, past life experiences, and transcendental experiences. And yet that brings us closer and closer to our inner Buddha nature. And then the next day, we do something really stupid. And I love that, kind of this journey is kind of like that. We can have these really profound experiences that really change us, change our psyche, and change our addiction to samsara, this cycle of birth, suffering, death that we keep repeating over and over again. And it cuts that addiction, these mystical experiences and these deep transcendental experiences. But then, we go back to being, doing some silly or stupid things, keep moving day by day, on our inner development. I love that. So please follow along with us if you're enjoying these conversations on Life with the Lama Healer. And if you have a question or if you'd like to sign up actually for our new blog where we're going to go take a deep dive into really some insider secrets into Lama Gangchen and traveling with him and what each one of our guests has experienced along with some photos. So you can sign up on our website, lamahealer.com, and you can follow us on Facebook on Life with a Lama Healer. And if you'd like more information about Lama Gangchen's work, you could go to nalso.org and find out about our retreat centers around the world and his humanitarian work that keeps continuing. And I'd like to thank Ilaria Ceccarelli for her beautiful recording of Lama Ken that is on our podcast. And if you'd like to sponsor an episode, please email us at lamahealer.com and sponsor one of our episodes. We'd be happy to have the support. We're a nonprofit charity. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. And in the meantime, please stay well, healthy, and peaceful. Lama Ken.